All right, so Honky Tonk Woman by the Rolling Stones. This was released July 4th, 1969. And it was released as a single. It was the A-side, and You Can't Always Get What You Want was the B-side. And it was actually never on a record until later on. It was on a greatest hit sort of a thing. And there's a couple of versions of this. The version from Let It Bleed is called Country Honk, right? Everybody probably knows all this anyways. And it's just a straight-out country song, which was kind of how Keith and Mick wrote it. The original idea of it. And if you go to, click that either or the link in the description box below, go to my website. I always do a little write-up on there. I'll leave a couple of links, or at least one link to a little interview with those two guys, Mick and Keith, just talking about how the song came about and everything. It's really funny. So we're in the open G here, right? And I'll put the tuning down here. And of course, it's like everything Keith has ever played in his life. You know, he never plays it the same twice. If he was watching this video, he'd probably think, oh man, you know, what are you doing? You don't have to be so precise. Just play what you want, right? But that's really not what most people want. What most people want is to nail these things down as close to the record as possible. And that's what I've tried to do here. So I'm going to be really specific. I'm going to go over the intro, the first verse, the first chorus, and the second verse. Okay, so open G, like I said, and we're going to start like this. D and G strings. Okay, that's the lick. You kind of have to listen to the track to get the timing of this stuff. And I'll show you, where to put your fingers kind of thing. That's just a D and G string, right? No pick involved in this song, just all fingers. And then we do this lick. Right? That's the essence of the lick. So slide into G4, slide down, bending up to B there, the B note. And I like to get my second finger in there for support, right? But the trick is we're going to hit this high E string, which is the D note now, right? On every beat. Like so, okay? And instead of going, you could slide that. And I think Keith does that more or less nowadays, but on the record, he's definitely bending it. So that's your first lick. And then we get into the song. So open A, A4, open G, and then we play this like C chord, right? But we're just going to play the D string and the A string. So. Right? Then we're going to go. If you want to flat your B string a little bit, you're going to get a way nicer sound on those thirds. Right? So that's what I did. I flatted that B string just a little bit. And a lot of guys will go, they do the classic Keith suspension thing, right? But, and this is just my opinion, right? But I don't hear that there. I just hear, just that G note on D5, right? And we let that ring, okay? And I'll give you the count on this. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, and we come on the end of 3 there, right? So 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so that's the lick we're gonna do. So it's right, but this time we're gonna be droning that open G. Right, for the first half, and droning the open E string for the second half. So it's make sure you hit the F note there. A lot of guys will go, right? Nah, it's not that. It's the F, right? Because that's the that's the Mixolydian note. You know, that's the seventh. You know, it's really strong. Right? Now you could go slide that, right? So anytime I'm doing a bend here, you could do a slide, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Right? Then we're going to go just hammering that on that A. It's like an A chord. And pulling it off. And then up to the D. Right? And then we go, you know, the classic key suspension. Okay, and then we've got that really cool, like, sliding up to A4, open G, slide down, and just hit the open A, which is the G note, right? And, you know, just love the sound of that note. You know, just sort of honks out there, right? And then the song continues. And the same thing, but that's a little different there, right? Then, and right away we're going to come in with, right? But droning on the open G and open E later, right? Then, right? Then do that, and then the D chord. Then we're going to go, right? So we hit the D chord, and then we got a harmonic 12th fret D G, and then you can hear a B string in there. Could slide that in there, or on the record it's just like that, right? Okay, so let's do that whole first verse. Well, intro first verse. So okay, and so there's a lot there, a lot of licks there, you know, and this actually took me a while to get this nailed down because there's so many little variations, right? Okay, so then we're going to get into that, which is just open A string, which is a G note now, right, with the thumb. And staccato, open, and then that suspension, right? D2, B1. Right, so take it up to the D. Guitar woman, then we're going to go. Right? Just a classic Keith. Then gimme honky tonk blues. Then we do this like. Right? Just love these licks. So without the drone, right? With the drone. And that's going to lead us into the second verse. Okay, so second verse. Right? And the timing on that's a little different than the first verse, right? But I can't really explain that to you. You know, you just have to listen to it and get it locked in. So then 2 and 3 and 4 and this one comes on the end of 4, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then, and that is all picked, right? Then up to the D. And this time, we're going to let that open G ring, right? Like that. The first time we go, we don't let it ring. This time we're going to let it ring. Then a little bend on A3. And then we get back into that. Okay, so let's do that whole second verse. So, two and 3 and 4. Back to the verse, or the chorus. And that's where I ended it, right? I just skipped way ahead to the ending, skipped all the soloing stuff, right? Okay, so that's it. There's a lot of licks in there. So let's take it from the start. Second verse. Okay, and that's it. You know, you could probably hear that went out of tune a bit there, right? Because if you get excited and you really start hitting them, you're gonna pull everything sharp, right? But you know, that's sort of cool too, because that's like rock and roll, right? Yeah, such classic Stones Keith type playing. I just love it. So the only other part I did was I kind of faked a piano part in the chorus, which went like this. right? That's sort of like a honky tonk piano part there. So all I did was just use my 3 fingers on the A string, D string, and G string. Just doing that rock and roll thing. She's a home. So it's. So that last bit is. Right, but we're just hitting all 3 strings. Okay, so that's it in the what I did in the chorus, and then in the there's those lead things, right? Which is just it's actually in standard tuning. Right, so we're just in that G major pentatonic shape. I'm going to start our first one here, bend on G14 to the E12, right? Bend it down and hit B15. Right, there's one guitar doing that, and there's another guitar going. We got 15, bend on the 15th, full step. Little finger on E15. And bend that B string down. And then with your middle finger, supported by your first finger, you bend up a whole step. And you got 15th on B and E, right? So. And they're just sort of variations on that. And the ending is like. Right, so just bending down to the B15. And then a bend on E13. So it's, you bend it back down, then you hit B15. And you hold that B15, so you get that 5th, right? So. Okay, and you can play it with a pick or play it with your fingers. Anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you get something out of it. Like I said, there's a ton of licks to learn in this one. But once you get them down and you play along with the track or whatever, it's like so satisfying because it's just sounds so exactly like it. And to me, even after all these years of playing, I still get a kick out of that, right? It's still fun to do that. Anyways, like I said, I hope you get something out of it. Make sure you check out my website, and yeah, we'll talk to you next time.